and no one in this country is above the law. But for some reason, our Supreme Court justices, not unanimously though, voted that our president is above the law for his work, not for his personal previous issues that he was already convicted for 34 times, and they gave him immunity. This immunity I'm going to give over to the Supreme Court. This is another word for Supreme Court justices is SCOTUS. It stands for Supreme Court of the United States, just like POTUS. In case you're new to politics, I'm going to call it SCOTUS. SCOTUS is a MAGA stacked judges right now, for the most part, not all of them. They have been bought, they get gifts, they have agendas, and they have given Donald Trump immunity, and he is acting like a cartel boss. I mean, whenever I've watched cartel movies, Narcos, Queen of the South, it seems that whoever kills the most, lies the most, tortures people the most, threatens people the most, gets to stay in charge. But they have to watch for their life every single day and their loved ones' lives every single day. And they lose people to death, to jail, to torture. But the ones that stay in power, whether it's a little bit of time or a long time, are the most evil, the ones that'll go all the way. And that's who we have here in the United States right now. We have Donald Trump, and he is willing to go all the way. And the people he put into our White House, that he knocked down a third of, by the way, they're willing to go all the way with him. So now they have to go all the way to jail. And I see other states calling for executions for people that have been prosecuted for deaths and multiple deaths, and not even multiple deaths, that get to the death penalty once they're convicted. And they're all of a sudden doing it again like it's the cool thing, like we haven't been walking away towards killing other human beings all these years and decades. So I wonder if they're going to bring up execution when the cabinet finally does go to jail and does get held accountable. And they can't just go away and get dismissed and move on to the next puppet. This isn't resolving the issue. And you know who I love to see on the streets? It's Keith Ellison. He's the AG of Minnesota, the Attorney General. And let me tell you, I have seen this man more than anybody else. I am constantly in the middle of reading, watching everything. And Keith Ellison, the AG of Minnesota, has been working his ass off. This man has like at least a 35-year career of prosecuting. And right now he is on the front lines defending Minnesota and their rights. And not only is he working as their attorney, for the state, he has been, I've seen him in protests weeks ago. I'm not talking now since Alex Preddy has been executed, but he's been there since then also. And I hate to just say Alex Preddy and his name and keep going on, because he's a person and he gave his life for our country. And Keith Ellison has been at the protests, talking to people in regular clothing, just like regular people, before Renee Good, before Alex Preddy, when this could have been stopped, before this went into a landslide of horror. And he's been on shows while he's prosecuting, trying to collect evidence for the murderers, who works for our government, whether it be ICE or the Border Patrol or Kristi Noem or Greg Bavino or Trump or our VP, JD Vance, or Pete Hegseth or Pam Bondi, or now you got Holman going down there. They all have shady paths and they haven't been held accountable. And now is the time before anybody else dies. How many more days do Minnesotans have to be out in the cold, freezing, protesting for their lives, watching their citizens get taken, their co-neighbors, whether they knew them or not, get taken away off the streets? They can't go to school anymore. It just sounds like California did last year at this time. And then it was happening in Portland. And, the governors and the courts in those states, now California was hit first, LA, and Governor Newsom was the first one to go through this trial. And it was a horrific one if you were watching. And people on Facebook and, people I grew up with that I can't believe are Trumpers, they're in Florida now, most of them. And they're like, I've since blocked them from my Facebook page because I can't deal with people that have answers for kids being taken, for parents being taken, for people being killed, for Alligator, Alcatraz, for all the detention centers that have been built in our country with our money to the administration's friends. They're giving lots of money. And just like we've given Elon Musk, we have all paid for this and we do not want this. And people, MAGAs, were sticking up for this, like, oh, the immigrants have to go. The immigrants aren't going. Do you notice the people who got killed this month? They're not immigrants. What's it going to take to open your eyes? If they're not open yet, I hope they're open. And if they are, welcome. We welcome you. I know, I only have one hand. So welcome you. Come. Be love, be accepting for everyone. I don't care if you're married to an immigrant that came here properly. These people have been trying to come properly for 20 and 30 years. So don't give me that bullshit. Oh, yeah, you guys are Christians to the max. Why don't you start practicing it, okay? What would Jesus be doing right now? Would he be out there in the streets talking to the people? Or would he be Greg Bavino or Kristi Noem or Donald Trump lying straight to us, telling us we're not seeing what we're seeing, we're not feeling what we're feeling? I know what I felt on Saturday. I felt good Friday night, seeing people come together. I was hoping it was the tipping point, for the good tipping point, for the really wake up morality tipping point. And then the next day, I have to see this man get beat, pepper sprayed, shot multiple times by multiple men in the middle of the street, and then torn apart verbally after he's dead, lying there, all the life taken out of him. Yeah, that bothers me, just like it bothered me the day Charlie Kirk got shot and I saw him go down and his body become lifeless. Yeah, I have to deal with these deaths and I have to deal with life just like everyone else does. The way I deal with it is I step outside, I look at the sun, I take a breath, and this sad feeling just comes over me for like a whole day, and I have to wait for it to pass. And I'm expected to function in this world like this, watching people die, okay? It's enough. People should not be dying in a safe country. It's got to stop, and not just by replacing Greg Bavino and Kristi Noem. I'm glad they're gone. Get them the fuck out of here already. The new Tammy Faye Baker, Kristi Noem, they are both, her and Greg are so overdressed when they make statements, and the eyelashes and the hair and the outfits and the jackets and the makeup, like they're going on to Fox News and they just sat in makeup for 4 hours and hair. They're not working. You see the people that are working? They look normal, like they're working. Their hair is not perfect. It's not perfectly touched up for the week or the day. They might not have showered today or yesterday. you know what I'm saying? They're sweating a little bit. They're talking, they're upset. They're telling the truth. They're being attacked. These people are working. You could tell the difference by someone that's working and somebody that just gets up on a stage and acts like this is the entertainment channel. You know, Laura Ingraham was out in the field at a protest. I think for 2 seconds I saw her. I'm going to find the clip. And the first thing I see her ask a woman who's got like a scarf or a mask covering on is, why do you have a mask on? Like, you know, because Laura's out there in like -degree weather without, you know, a hat on like everybody else would wear, or a scarf or a mask covering your hat, your face and your nose because your cheeks are frozen. You can't even talk. She goes to the woman, why do you have a mask on? And she's got that Laura Ingraham, you know, are you a criminal? Is that why you have a mask on? Meanwhile, all the ICE agents, Border Patrol have masks on, whether it's cold or not. And she's like, I'm cold. But then Laura's like, you know,
why are you wearing a mask? Why are you wearing a mask? I'm just curious. Just a question. This is the crowd.
It's like, is this the first time you're stepping out of a Fox studio? Hello? Wake up. Yeah. So let's wake up, everybody. If you haven't woken up now, I don't know what to say. But if you're woken up, welcome. And thank you, Minnesota people. I bow to you. I bless you. I'm praying for you. Thank you for being on the front lines of something that shouldn't even exist, that has gone too far. And I'm sorry for all the people that we have voted in, whether they're Democrats or Republicans. I'm so sorry that they have let it come to this, for everybody that's been affected, and especially you all. And I think you, Minnesota, are going to be the problem solvers. It looks like your strength and your courage and your lovingness and your optimism and your calmness and your peacefulness and your caringness is going to save us all. And I am so grateful for that. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye for now. And please give this video a thumbs up if you love Minnesota and you love democracy. And please subscribe to You Make Me Sick TV. It's absolutely free. Just hit the subscribe button. If you want to donate, you could click on the links under the description that says PayPal, Sparkle Silver. And have a good rest of your day. Stay safe. We're all scared. We all have to come out of our comfort zone a little bit, whatever way it feels the most little uncomfortable for us at a time, and stay safe while we're doing it. You know, the elected officials are saying, oh, they're scared to say anything. They're scared to lose their job. They're scared about their families. You know, us too. We have jobs. We have families. Our amendments are getting threatened too, and we still speak up. Everybody must, especially if it's your job. And if it's your second job and you don't want to do it, like congresspeople or senators, go back and do your first job. If you were an attorney, if you were a podcaster, whatever you were, go back and do what you were doing. But if you're not servicing the people and our safety, you're leaving. Goodbye.